Hi, thank you all. I'd like today to tell you guys my story and my journey with this illness. And that starts with me telling you that the Mayo Clinic defines hypochondria as worrying excessively that you are or may become seriously ill. My experience with this phenomenon dates all the way back to preschool and continued up until recently. I avoided playing outdoors, fearing that any pavement-scraped skin would allow foreign germs to infect me. If I got a stomach ache after dining out, I thought a parasite was festering inside of me. And watching the news during the whole swine flu thing almost broke me. For years, my illness anxiety disorder affected my daily life because of the most silly, harmless reasons. This past summer, I was diagnosed with cancer. And the irony is not lost on me. My journey with cancer has taught me a few valuable lessons. First, you must advocate for your own health. Everyone knew that I had hypochondriac tendencies. My friends, my family, even my doctors. So no one really took it to heart when I said that I was feeling sick for months on end. But I was determined and I was persistent. And my doctor was feeling my neck when she said that the left side was a little enlarged. Per her advice, I got an ultrasound. And the lady at the imaging center laid me back on the table, lathered the cold gel against my neck, and pressed the device against my skin. Her demeanor almost instantly changed. So I asked her, "Is anything wrong?" She just turned to me and said that I'd have the results in a few days. And I did. In fact, a few days later, I found out that the ultrasound concluded that I had a 4.3 centimeter growth, inflating the left side of my thyroid like a balloon. I had to get a biopsy done to see if this thing was malignant, aka cancerous, or benign, aka harmless, which came back inconclusive. So that meant the only way to see if I had cancer was to remove the growth and have a doctor test it at a pathology lab. Now, my surgeon told me that because I'm 17, and because I only had a 20% chance of having cancer, he was only going to remove the left side of my thyroid. Now, you all only have one thyroid, but it's split between the two sides of your neck and connected by this piece of tissue called the isthmus. My left side, my isthmus, and a few lymph nodes were all removed during a partial thyroidectomy. When the procedure was over, there was gleeful celebration for a seemingly flawless surgery. And I was in my recovery room at the pediatric wing of the University of Kansas Hospital, about to eat my favorite orange sherbet, when I felt a pop. And my nurse had his back to me, and it hurt to talk. But when he turned around and saw me, his eyes were wide. He ran out of the room, and I wasn't sure why, but he returned with some surgeons. And there were medical students with him since I was at a teaching hospital, and they were crowding the room, pointing at me, half frantically, half in total awe. My parents rushed in then, consoling me and covering my eyes. I was crying, and at that point, I didn't know why I was crying. But that's when a surgical resident cut my incision open again while I was awake to drain the cantaloupe-sized hematoma that had formed in my neck. You see, a blood vessel had burst. And the swelling in my neck was so large that where my scar is now, it was touching my chin. I was immediately rushed back into surgery, and the doctors put a tube in my neck to drain all the excess blood, and I lived with that for about a week. When I woke up from that procedure, my surgeon came in the room. And at this point, I was pretty doped up on pain meds, but something was still eating away at me. I was pretty shaken up, so I turned to him and I said, "Did I almost die?" And he nodded and left the room.
Before doing so, he reassured me that there was nothing anyone could have done to foresee this happening, because you have to understand that less than 1% of thyroidectomy cases develop hematomas. 5 days and 4 nights in the hospital, I was finally released to recover at home. 7 days after that, I was at a post-op appointment, and the physician's assistant removed my stitches and handed me a packet of papers. She highlighted a line. 4.3 centimeter sample removed. Type, papillary carcinoma. Malignant. Now, she reassured me that my prognosis was fantastic, and that out of every type of cancer, thyroid cancer is the type you want to have, because it is so slow-growing and treatable. And that is absolutely true. But still, the examination bed I was sitting on seemed to be swallowed by a pit dug only deeper and deeper by anxiety, because I spent a lifetime worrying about fictional ailments, only for a disease to be in my genetic code the entire time. It was wasted energy, and I was determined to change. Now that we knew my diagnosis, I had to get the other side of my thyroid removed and undergo a radiation treatment. I missed a week of school while I was radioactive, but this time around it wasn't a near-death experience, just gratitude, because I was alive and I was getting treatment. And when the carcinoma was removed from my body, so too was the paralyzing fear I felt my entire life. As the radiation zapped away at everything, all the harmless cells in my body, my anxieties were also erased. And that's my second lesson for you all today. I promise that no matter what, you can overcome anything. I know, because as of last month, I am cancer-free. Well, I first want to mention that a lesson you should also learn is that you have to appreciate everything and every day, because you never know when that could be taken away. On June 23rd, when I had my first surgery, I thought I would be in the hospital for one night. I didn't think that I could be on the brink of death. But now that you all know my story, I think it's important to note that I dealt with a splinter compared to what some other childhood cancer patients have to face. I know I can't speak for everyone who has cancer, but I believe that the worst thing about this illness is the uncertainty that it manifests. Because it is uncertain whether or not the doctors will be able to do anything. It is uncertain whether or not your family will be able to afford the medical bills. And when your doctor looks right through you and tells you that you have cancer, you don't know how to feel. But that's why organizations like St. Baldrick's are so great. They create certainty in an otherwise impossibly listless situation. So thank you all for being here and supporting. Thank you to those who chose to raise awareness or funds, no matter how you chose to do that. Thank you all for listening to my story. I hope you can take something from it. Thank you.